So she's waiting. She's like, man, I really like this guy. Dad, what do you think? Dad's going, cool it. Let's see what happens. So that's happening over there. What's happening in your house?
I'm still stretching it out, stretching it out. Not really. I'm praying about it for sure, and seeking counsel from my parents. I
Okay,
had
so
conversations with my mom and my dad
Okay, tell me about the
numerous
first
times.
one.
The first one. Wow.
First conversation.
I can't remember the first one.
Okay, Dad or Mom, do you remember him coming to you to bare his soul at all?
Yes, he came. He said something like that he found this beautiful girl at the Shabbat meeting, and that he really likes her, but he wasn't sure of how to move. He wasn't sure of timing. He wasn't sure if he should say anything. And so I said, well, we just keep praying. We got to pray and see what God wants, So it was a long process of that, very long process. Every now and again he will come back and say the very same thing, and we say, well, let's keep praying, and until he reached the day where he decided that, I think I am going to go forward. I will go to the Father.
Interesting. Now, go ahead.
Okay. I just want to say something real quick. Even though I didn't at the time know about the betrothal process and what that looks like, I had resolved in my heart to, after God bringing a woman to my life and me knowing in a non-romantic context or relationship, I believe that friendship and that relationship alone, I would know this person, is or isn't, my wife. And after praying about it, I really felt that she is. And so my next step that I already had resolved in my heart was to approach her father, not her. And then that was it. I didn't have anything else after that.
Beautiful girl. You're having Shabbat meetings, and you're not telling her that, hey, baby, give me your number or anything like that, right?
She got my number from her dad.
Oh,
I never exchanged numbers.
Interesting. Okay. Where's Dad come into the picture here? Did Mom share anything, or Reuel share anything with you? That's okay. Yeah.
Well, I can remember Erin flying around the house, the name Erin. And so I didn't really press the issue with him. He just said, Dad, Erin, she does this. I said, oh, yeah, okay. And then, Gilda and I are always talking, and so she would kind of keep me posted with what's happening. But then one night there was an event here at the Edwards home. I don't remember if it was a Shabbat or
I think it was his birthday.
His birthday.
He wanted everybody to come and experience. I'm sorry. He wanted everybody to come and the whole family to come and experience the Shabbat celebration. So we came.
And when we saw that was our premise in the natural. And then we came. He introduced family, and introduced me to Erin. And when I met Erin, I said, well, this is her. This is the wife. And what happened? She's really talented as an artist, and so she took me around and she was showing me the different paintings and expressed. I said, Father God, I said, you have just done well by this boy. Yeah, I said, this is that. But I never really said anything, to him. He never really pressed the issue. But I just saw how the Lord was just orchestrating, putting all these pieces together. And I knew Reuel's heart that he really wanted to have a wife Father's way. And he was really searching out how to do that. He didn't, Gilda, and now, mind you, our firstborn, Amanda, and Jeremiah, when they got married, it was very unique, very different. They didn't kiss until he said, well, you may kiss the bride. And in fact, the pastor said, who gives this bride away? And I was just kind of looking there, and they said, is somebody going to get this? So I said, oh, yeah. And so as a family, this is something that's always been in our heart. And I can even remember when I met Gilda, we didn't kiss until he said, well, you can now kiss the bride. And so that's kind of been a part of our heart culture, I believe, from Father. But we didn't have anything to look at that was different from the way we did it. And so what I felt like, Lord, you're bringing us through this process. And as I said, it's coming out of the Word, out of the relationship, out of community, which was very, very, very unique because he was committed to community and to the Word. And in that context, they met. And that's what I was just said, hey, this is good.
Okay, Reuel, then you talk to mom and dad. Mom and dad say, hey, pray. Dad's already thinking, there she is. This is it. The Edwards mom and dad are going, hey, this will be cool, but they're trying to be quiet. She can't ask you for your number. Well, maybe she. All right. So what's the next step?
The next step. Well, I guess it was a combination of things that kind of all merged together inside of me, and it was a number of things. One, it was like I had hurt from a previous relationship, and so that was kind of like baggage in a way, and I had all this fear, and I was like, I don't want to repeat that again. It was it was a very hurtful experience, and I didn't feel ready for marriage. There's a lot of things I thought I needed to work on, and all of this, and I thought Erin was a little too good to be true, kind of thing. I was like, I gotta wait this thing out. I have to wake up. I need to get that wake up and smell the coffee kind of experience. And so, but I just finally
mess this up. You're like, I'm not messing this up.
Also, that's another thing too. Like when I met Erin, I had this huge, kind of like reverence for her. She really stood out from all the women I've ever known in my life, and I was like, wow, I don't even want to literally touch Erin. Like I didn't even want to give her a greeting hug. That's how That's how it was. Yeah, that's how deep it was. There's like this holiness, like this reverence, about her, and she carries herself with like this respect and honor, and I didn't really know how to interact with that a whole lot. And so, but anyway, I finally reached this point where what, I need to do what I always had in my gut to do, was to step out, take a risk, be the man in the relationship, and pursue her. And so that's actually been in my heart. I've had a couple experiences where it's been the reverse, and I never really liked that. So I had this gut, resolve that I believe the Lord's leading to me this, and I need to step out and pursue. And so I emailed Mr. Bill.
Okay. That's interesting.
Christmas Eve, was it? Well, we met on Christmas Eve, and I shared my heart with him and everything. And we had a really good conversation. He shared about the betrothal process, and how that was on Erin's heart. But during the whole conversation, he didn't let on at all that there was even the slightest interest on Erin's part. And so I walked away. Yeah, I walked away, encouraged, hopeful, but at the same time, like, I don't know what's going on still. So, and we kind of left we concluded a meeting with him getting back with me. And so I we both decided that he would be the one to hear from the Lord as to when would be the proper time for him to present this to Erin, my interest in marrying her.
So you go to Dad. Mm-hmm. Dad receives understands your interest in his daughter. Okay, so now let's pass the mic back to Bill. Bill, here we go. He's coming at. What did he say to you on Christmas Eve?
Well, it was Christmas Eve morning. We were meeting for breakfast, and of course I'm showing up in shorts. Just the two of us. And Reuel and I had already had a relationship because we'd been hanging out now for a few months, and so I really didn't have a clue. I showed up in whatever I had on, jeans and an old T-shirt. It's Christmas Eve morning, and Reuel's coming all dressed up with khakis and loafers. I'm like, what's this all about? So I thought maybe he was going somewhere, but so we sat down and he began to share his heart, and so in the back of my mind, I already know that Erin has interest in him. So I could see the Lord doing it, but again, I didn't want to tip my hand or whatever. I wanted the Lord to really orchestrate this thing. So there's no greater buffer or filter for the man in your daughter's life than your dad, right? So I grilled him. I asked him all kinds of questions, and we had a good morning. I really wanted to know a lot about him, everything from his finances to those kind of questions, and so I was really excited because I had come to know Reuel for a number of months, and he was really, in terms of characteristics, everything that we'd been praying for, the things that I was looking for in, a mate for Erin. So I went back to Erin and I told her about it. But then I told her that she couldn't make a decision. She had to take 7 days and pray about it. And you need to hear Reuel's side of the story, waiting that 7 days as well in Erin's, because that's pretty funny. But it was grueling for them both.
Come back to that. I want to hear from Cindy. So what did Bill say to you? Obviously stuff's going on.
Okay, I knew he was going to breakfast with Reuel, and I told you my gut was like, something's happening. Reuel's going to ask. So Bill comes home, and I'm like, so? What was the meeting like? Did he ask you something? And I'm waiting, and Bill goes, yeah, he did. I was like, what? I was like, I knew it. And then I go, what are we going to do? He goes, I don't know. And he wasn't sure that he was going to tell Erin. And I'm like, look, we got to tell her. We got to tell her tomorrow morning. We cannot wait for this. So we did. We told her Christmas morning. And we don't actually even celebrate Christmas.
What did you say to her? Tell me, give us a scenario here.
I think Bill just said, well, you know that Reuel met with me for breakfast, yesterday. And she's like, yeah. And he's like, and he expressed an interest in you. And we want you to pray about it. And we want you to give an answer as to what your response to that would be. And Bill's like, and we would like for you to pray for 7 days. And Erin's like, okay. So that 7 days and it was my break. I teach high school, so I had off that whole time. And it was torture watching. And I'm like, 7 days? This is how I am the whole time. It's like, good Lord, can y'all go any quicker? Same with the whole betrothal stuff. It's like, good Lord, this is long. But 7 days, it was torture for me to watch her, because it was a struggle, because she just finds out that he's interested, and Bill had to go back to get clarity. Do you mean, when you say interested, what do you mean? Do you mean you want to marry Erin? And it was like, yeah. So that was clarity. And then Erin got the clarity, and she's like, okay, I got to pray. Is Reuel the one? Is Reuel the one? So she would come to us and try to bend our arm to get us to say what we thought. And I'll be like, I'm not giving you my opinion, Erin, because Bill coached me behind the scenes. Do not egg her on or give her any let her make her decision, and do not kind of twist her arm and give her she's got to wrestle with this. We got to let her wrestle with this. So it was a long week, because Erin did wrestle a lot, because she was just trying to make sure she was hearing from the Lord. We're like, go back up to your room, go be by yourself. You need to go spend time with the Lord.